Hey guys, we're going to continue on with part 6. So this is part 6B, fonts and clipping masks. Alright, so here's what we did so far. We found a font and we installed it. We saved a font in the assets folder so that you could use it later. So then we also installed it for GIMP. So we put it in the roaming folder. Okay, so we're going to actually use the font now, and then we're going to go on to the clipping mask in a second. So the idea is we're going to do something like this, where we'll have a font, and then you can actually see a picture through the font. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn that off. Actually, let's see. So basically, what I have is this clipping mask folder, and then I have a couple layers inside. So I'm going to just turn that off, and we're going to redo that. Okay. So let's see here. Let me do a little cleanup here. So I'm going to get rid of some of this stuff. Let me delete. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to make the clipping mask folder. So I'm going to click right here. I'm going to make a new layer group. So basically, and I'm going to put this. I'm going to call it font clipping mask. Okay, and so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to actually put a new layer inside of there. Okay, so we have, sorry, I hit pause and I did a bunch of stuff, and so I'm coming back. Anyway, so we have our font clipping mask, so we're going to make sure we're on that folder. And now I am going to go to Window, and I'm going to go to Dockable Dialogues, and I'm going to go back to Fonts, and I'm going to make sure I find and click on this new font that we chose. And then I'm going to go over to my tools, and I'm going to go to the text tool, and I'm going to click right there, and I'm going to type in flowers. Okay, now nothing happened because this font only works with caps, so that's unusual. But so if I try to do it with anything other than all caps, it doesn't work. Okay, so though I typed in my font. I'm going to go to, I can't remember what this thing is. Let's go to View. Let's go to, so we're going to go to View, we're going to go to Zoom, and then we're going to say Fit Image to Window. So Shift Control J will do it. And so I can see everything. Actually, I'm going to shrink this thing down so I can see it. There we go. Okay, let's shrink this down. Let's try this. Okay, there we go. Okay, now I can see what I'm working on here. Go to my Move tool, move the font where I want it. I want it right there. Okay. Okay, that's good. Okay, so now we have that. Now notice, by the way, so when I did that, so I clicked on the folder when I made the font, made the text, it made its own little layer there, which is what I want because it's inside of this thing. All right, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put in the picture that I'm going to use for the clipping mask. So I'm going to click on that folder. I'm going to go Edit. No, pardon me, File. I'm going to open as Layers. And I'm going to go to my Assets, and I'm going to go to my leaf here. And it wants me to convert it or not. I'm going to say, yeah, I can convert it to the GIMP stuff. Okay, so I'm going to move this thing over the flower like that. The only thing is the green's not going to stand out much, so I'm going to edit that picture a little bit. So I'm going to go Colors. I'm going to go Hue Saturation. I want to adjust the master color there, and so I'm going to play around with it. Do something like that. That'll stand out really well. So I'm going to click OK. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to do my clipping mask. All right, so before you do anything more with the clipping mask, you have to make sure the text is below the picture. Or what it doesn't, by the way, it doesn't have to be text. You could do this with anything. But anyway, so once you do that, you right-click on this thing and you say Composite Mode, and you clip to the backdrop and you can see that you have the pictures in there. Okay, so that is how you do add text and how you do a clipping mask. So let's see if there's anything else in my spiel. Oh, okay. The next thing we have to do is the copyright symbol. All right, so everybody has to have some text in there, and everybody has to claim this as their own unique work, so you have to do the copyright symbol. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to go right here to the web, and we're going to type in. All right, so we want the copyright symbol, and so you just find that. All right, and I'm just going to hit Control-C and copy it. And then we're going to go back to GIMP, and we're going to, so on this particular one, yeah, we'll just put it in. I don't know if we want to put it in here or not. We'll just do a new layer up here. Okay, so click OK. I don't know if it's actually going to put that. Oh, I don't want it inside that thing. So let's go here and do a new layer down here. Click OK. Okay, so there we go. There's copyright. Okay, so what we can do now is we can go to our text tool, and we probably don't want this super weird font, so we're going to click there and just use like a more normal font. Let's try that one. Okay, so we're going to click and we're going to press Control-V, and there's our copyright symbol. And so if you want to do the copyright, I suggest you do the copyright symbol with something interesting like this, but with a clipping mask. At any rate, so what we can do though is we can change the size of this thing. So I'll make it 300, and then we'll move it around. And so you have your nice copyright symbol in there, indicating that this is your work. Nobody can steal it. All right, that is it for this spiel. Thanks, guys.